If you're relocating to Rochester, Minnesota, well, welcome. But one of the biggest mistakes that we see relocation buyers make is falling in love with a house before understanding the area that it's in. Now, obviously you see palm trees behind me. I'm on vacation here in Puerto Rico, but today we're here to talk about Rochester. Now, Rochester is divided into 5 main sections. We've got downtown, we have northwest and northeast, and then southwest and southeast. Each one feels completely different, and what's perfect for one buyer can be a real regret for another. So today we're going to break down each quadrant, what it's known for, typical home prices, the property types, the amenities, and yes, even a few things that people sometimes wish that they'd known sooner. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate at eXp Realty in Rochester, Minnesota. And we love helping people relocate to the Rochester area. But before we dive in, please like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment maybe where you're moving from. Now first, understand this about Rochester. Rochester has its 5 very different areas: northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, and then downtown. And when you're looking at a map for reference purposes, the dividing streets are Broadway, which divides Rochester west and east, and the intersecting Center Street, which divides north and south. Now, they're all close on a map. As a matter of fact, it really only takes about 20 minutes to get from one end of Rochester to another, but they can live very differently, especially in the winter. Now, what works beautifully for one buyer can feel like a big mistake for another. So let's break this down clearly. Downtown Rochester. Downtown is usually where people think that they should live first, especially if they're relocating to work at the Mayo Clinic. And why people love it initially? Well, they can walk to work, walk to restaurants and all the events. That urban lifestyle of everything right at your fingertips. And that lock and leave convenience. Now, the typical price range could be anywhere from $300,000 to $800,000. And the homes that you're going to see are condos and lofts, that high-rise living, and very limited single-family homes. But those that are downtown are older and they have a ton of character. Now, the amenities, we've got the Peace Plaza, we have the whole Skyway system, so you really don't even have to go outside. We've got restaurants, a lot of downtown events, and cultural venues. But where regret shows up for downtown is people want the convenience, but they didn't realize that with urban living comes HOA fees, especially in condos, limited storage, and limited parking. And it's not ideal for families or pets that need some space. But what downtown is best for are those early career professionals, buyers wanting minimal maintenance, and people who truly want urban living. No car, they can bike or walk to everything, just a pick up and go lifestyle. Now let's talk Southeast Rochester. This area is all about proximity and walkability, and in my opinion, it's our most affordable quadrant, mostly due to the age and the size of the homes. So why do buyers choose Southeast Rochester? Well, close residential areas to the Mayo campus, strong rental demand. There's a mix of older homes with some charm and character and convenience. Now, the typical price range here could be anywhere around that $200,000 on the low end to about $400,000 on average. Now, of course, you can find higher price points and bigger lots, but you have to get a little further away from the city center, and that's true of all of our quadrants. Now, the homes you're going to see here are going to be older single-family homes, condos and townhomes, some historic properties, and definitely some rural areas with larger lots and a little bit more space. Now, the amenities of Southeast, walkability to Mayo and downtown, parks and trails, some local restaurants and coffee shops, but there's less here than there are in other areas. Common frustrations for Southeast are technical colleges here, and we do have a lot of industrial areas, and that can create a different vibe than what some people expect. Now, the yards can be smaller, and older infrastructure in a lot of these pockets also can cause problems. Now, who Southeast is best for? Healthcare professionals wanting to be close to Mayo, buyers who want walkability, and investors and short-term rental buyers. Now, let's move to Northwest Rochester. This is what I would call the move-up quadrant. Great, solid neighborhoods and affordable move-up options as you want and need more space. Now, why people love it? Well, we've got quiet, established neighborhoods, strong sense of community, easy access to Highway 52. It's close to IBM, parks, trails, and newer schools, plus less hospital traffic day to day. Now, the typical price range is roughly $300 to $550, and some newer and high-end homes are going to go well above that. Now, the typical homes that you're going to see here are single-family homes, probably built in the 1990s into the 2000s. We do have a handful of newer subdivisions because development seems to be most prevalent now in Northwest. Lots of townhomes and villas and larger lots with areas close to downtown. Now, amenities, we've got Cascade Lake, the Douglas Trail, shopping along the West Circle Drive corridor, quieter streets, and more green space. Now, where the regret shows up in Northwest, well, people didn't realize how far they would be from downtown for work. There's fewer nightlife options Northwest, and winter commute can feel a little bit longer if you work downtown every day. But Northwest is best for families or move-up buyers who are leaving apartments or townhomes, buyers wanting more space and some quiet, and people who don't need to be near downtown or the Mayo every day. Now let's head over to Northeast. This is one of the most underlooked value areas in Rochester. And why buyers choose Northeast? There are nice pockets of older homes and mature neighborhoods, as well as many newer construction areas that give you a really good broad price range and many home styles to choose from. It's strong rental and investment potential and easy access to downtown and the medical campuses. Now, the typical price range here can be around $300,000 to about $700,000. Again, some of these neighborhoods that get newer are going to be way higher than that, but that's kind of the sweet spot. Now, the homes you'll see in Northeast, older single-family homes built from the 1940s to the 1970s, which are going to be more affordable, duplexes and small multifamily properties, smaller lots with modest layouts, and then we've got larger homes that are a bit older in established neighborhoods, as well as many new developments. Now, amenities, Quarry Hill Nature Center, wow, Silver Lake, downtown proximity, bus routes, and walkable pockets. The common surprises, though, for Northeast, older homes are going to require a little bit more maintenance, fewer HOA-style communities like townhomes and condos out in the Northeast quadrant, and this quadrant has the least amount of shopping and dining options. Now, who is Northeast best for? First-time homebuyers and investors that prioritize affordability and proximity over size. Move-up buyers wanting larger lots and newer homes are going to enjoy those established neighborhoods as well as the modern options in the newer developments. Okay, let's jump over to Southwest Rochester. This is one of the fastest growing parts of the city, and very intentional buyers really thrive here. This area would typically be described as our more affluent quadrant, mainly because years ago, many of the larger mansion-style homes were built close to the St. Mary's campus in an area known today as Pill Hill. And there are many other amazing upscale neighborhoods here in Southwest, but with home prices increasing and demand for newer and better amenities, the other areas of town are doing a great job of keeping up. So why do people love Southwest? Shopping, dining options, and medical facilities. The historic areas close to St. Mary's, the strong resale demand, modern neighborhoods and amenities with more space. Now, our typical price range here can really vary. It can be roughly maybe $400,000 to well over $1 million. And you're going to see new construction developments, luxury style townhomes, master plan neighborhoods, large acreage lots in those newer developments. And amenities like the Apache Mall, lots of restaurants and retail, easy access to Highway 14 and Highway 52 are a big draw. But where the regret shows up, more space ended up being further away from downtown than expected. Traffic during peak hours maybe drives you crazy. And there are more recreational facilities in other quadrants. So people were further from where they spent their time. Now, who is Southwest best for? Professionals wanting newer homes, buyers who value amenities and growth over affordability, and people who are okay trading commute time for modern living and space. But before we keep going, if any of this hits home, download our free Rochester Relocation Starter Kit below. It will walk you through all of this step by step before pressure hits. So what's the big takeaway? The biggest mistakes that we see aren't about the house. They're about the location. People underestimate commute times, especially in the winter. They overlook home age and maintenance for affordability, and they choose new instead of the right fit. or they just don't understand how their daily routine actually feels here. And that's why we don't just sell homes. We help people choose the right area for their lifestyle. So if you want honest guidance, no sales pressure, we'd love to help. If you have questions about a specific part of Rochester, put them in the comments below. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate. We live here, we work here, and we help people just like you relocate with clarity so that regret never becomes part of your story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.